Should be live. Hopefully this is coming through on the right channel, which is the main one. We haven't done a live stream over here for quite a while, and I appreciate this is a bit impromptu. So normally I would put these up in advance. Just that I became aware of a new update to a case that took place fairly recently that I covered on the channel, that is. It was back in July. And during that video, I said that I'd give you guys an update if I came across any further information. And I mean, it's an update, and it's certainly. Hello, James Rapner. How are you doing? So yeah, I have an update for a case. I'm just going to give it a couple of minutes just to let people come in. But I also just wanted to have a little bit of a catch up with you guys as well, just because I know that I've not really been that active on the main channel. So I just wanted to reassure you guys that if you're only subscribed to this one, that is, that I am actually, I'm alive. I'm still here, and I'm still going to be putting out content. The only thing is, I've just been incredibly busy, so I've just, unfortunately, the way my job works is it goes up and down, sort of fits and starts. I'll have moments where we get really, really busy, and then so I have to go sort of like a bit quiet on the channel, and then when it sort of quietens down a little bit, I then am able to get some more stuff out. Yes, so the sentencing, James, to confirm, was on the 1st of September. Annoyingly, I thought I had a Google alert set up for this, but unfortunately I didn't. Hey, Bazaar, good to see you here on the channel, and I'm gonna try my best to pronounce your name, Nilanga Jayasekara from South Australia. How are you doing? And another Adelaidean as well. Excellent. But yeah, I as a thank you for watching that video as well, James. It's actually quite good that you've watched that, so you're quite familiar with this one. But yeah, basically, back in July, I brought you the, it was a tragic case, the Danny Diaz-Delgado one. Of course, if you're watching this stream for the first time and you haven't checked that out, or if you want to go back and refresh your memory with regards to what happened in that one, I have left a link in the description for you to check that out. But yeah, so at the time of releasing that video, I explained that one of the men responsible, Rufus Thompson, at the time had pled guilty, and he's currently serving a 45-year prison term. But the second man, Akmal Alvaranga, while he was convicted in June, the sentencing hadn't yet taken place. Now, at the time of the sentencing, which James quite rightly pointed out took place on the 1st, well, actually, I think if I go back on the source, it actually said that he was sentenced on the 7th, or it says on Thursday on the article that I've got. But nope, that's an outstanding one. That's excellent. But it turns out he was actually convicted on the 7th of September. So yeah, the day just before the Queen passed. So yeah, he was. So it was on the 7th, sorry. But Mercer County prosecutor Rachel Cook basically was successful in arguing for his sentence, which I will get into. But she did say the following during the sentencing, that, and I quote this, "I cannot imagine what was going through Danny's mind when he was led out of that garage, that cold, dark garage. Thompson and Alvaranga did not just take Diaz-Delgado from his loved ones. They robbed the community of a good person. And from what I've learned about Danny, that's a truer word not been spoken." She also said, she also said that of all the cases that she'd handled in the past 15 years, only this one, in her opinion, fully met the definition of cruel and heinous. Alvaranga's attorney, on the other hand, a guy called Edward Hesketh, basically, he argued that Thompson was actually the ringleader, and basically suggested that Alvaranga was actually the one being controlled by Thompson, who he described as a bully, coward, and a monster. He pleaded for Mercer County Judge Darlene Parexter to hand Alvaranga the same sentence as Thompson, which he was arguing for 45 years. And he also continued to claim that Alvarenga was not the person who pulled the trigger on Creek Bank, which was where Danny's body sadly was found. Thankfully, the judge wasn't convinced, reminded the attorney that neither was the jury at the time of his conviction, um, and he was sentenced to life. He was sentenced to life. So I think that was justice served in that regards. Um, Danny's mother, actually, Olga, I have to give credit to her strength. I have to. She actually spoke at the sentencing, and then initially she described how, when see everything came out, she initially held hatred for the two men that took her son. But for her, as time went on, those feelings slowly changed, and she actually said, and I quote, "It's been very hard. I know my son is never coming back, but justice was served as God is justice, and they have to find God's forgiveness. In my heart, there's no more hate like in the beginning. Despite all the tears, I have learned to forgive I've learned to forgive the killers. Hopefully, they can learn to love God." Uh, that being said, when Alvarenga was given the opportunity to speak, to apologise for what he had done, to take responsibility, he said nothing. And in fact, he had to be prompted by his by his attorney to actually verbalise that he didn't want to say anything. So yeah, it's a. I think life was the right option. I mean, guys, if you haven't seen the story, go back and check it out. I don't know what the laws are like over in sort of like Trenton, the New Jersey area. I don't know whether capital punishment is something that can be out there, but I mean, it was. I mean, if that was something that could have been put on the table, then in my personal opinion, I think it should have been. But I think we can settle for a life sentence, and it's not like, and I don't believe it's like life here in the UK where it's like a set term and then parole. It's life for life is my understanding of it. But yeah, he's not going to be getting out his lifetime. So I just wanted to bring you guys up to speed with that. Hi, Lab Living Life. Good to see you, and HHM as well. I forgot to mention. Hey, how you doing? So yeah, unfortunately, I haven't really got long here on the stream. So I'm just so strapped for time at the moment. I really wanted to get this update out to you all, and just to let you know that the sentencing was handed down, and that that chapter in the Diaz-Delgado family can be closed. And while obviously what happened to them was terrible, and they'll never be able to fully sort of recover from that. Hopefully, this will now give them some sort of closure, and that they can begin to move on and process things. But yeah, yeah, he was James. He was from that he was out. He was meeting these men because he was going to buy a PlayStation for his younger brother. I mean, and he did a lot of work in the community, and from what I saw of him, he sounded like a top lad. But yeah, I just thought I'd let you guys know that, and bring you guys up to speed. Yeah, apologies. This is a bit impromptu, as I say. Unfortunately, just because I'm so wrapped up at the moment, I haven't got time to sort of sit down and do a fully produced sort of video and whatnot. But I wanted to get something out to you guys, just to let you know that I'm still putting out content, and there will be something coming out in due course. I just need to get what's going on at work out of the way, and then I can focus on that. But if you aren't aware, I do have a second channel. I do live stream sort of Mondays and Fridays over there. Links in the description to that one. It's a little off base in terms of true crime. I don't cover stuff like that on there normally. On the Monday, I do a little bit of gaming. If you want to join me there, that's fine. I normally do like crime theme based gameplay, but I'm going to be doing. I'm in the middle of doing a horror game because the people there wanted that. But on Fridays, we normally look at some Florida Man stuff. But I'm going to be looking at changing that up. Maybe have something sort of more tied to what we do over here, but in a more live format. But yeah, thank you ever so much for tuning in. If you're here live, like you guys are in the chat now, or if you've catched it on a replay, thank you very much for sticking around and watching. And until next time, take care and goodbye for now.